New radio alert! Kenwood has recently released their entry-level double-din head unit with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, along with a couple new features as well. This is the DMX4710S. Yes, the price has gone up slightly, so let's see if this head unit is worth its asking price. So, stay with us. Hey, what's up? Josh here from Breaker Stereo and Performance. Welcome to our channel that reviews all the best in car audio, performance, suspension, and more. Because we don't drive stock. And if you're like us where stock just doesn't cut it, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Okay, so the previous model on this radio was the DMX4710S and retailed for $299. This current model is $319, so 20 bucks more. And they enhanced a few things along with adding a sawed-out feature. The internal amplifier power increased from 21 watts times 4 RMS or 45 watts peak to 22 watts RMS or 50 watts peak. Now the ratio from RMS to peak doesn't seem right to me, but for discussion's sake, let's just say it increased by 1 watt RMS per channel. Okay, if anyone wants to elaborate and make sense of this, go right ahead and educate us in the comment section. Oh, and ChatGPT answers are accepted. Okay, moving on. They also increased the RCA voltage output from 2 volts to 2.5 volts, so that's good. And then they added the ability to add iDataLink Maestro modules, the MRR and the MRR2. Now that gives you the ability to see and control some of your vehicle's info directly on the screen. Now, as a shop, we used to use a lot of pack modules, but as cars become more complex, we find ourselves using the iDataLink parts much more often. Not to mention, they are somewhat more reliable. Now, you will need to program the module with a computer and a good internet connection, but don't worry, any grade school kid can handle it.
Wait, what?
Nothing against you guys, I'm just saying it's really easy to do.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what's new and improved. And I'll jump the gun and say, yes, the extra 20 bucks is well worth it. Besides, $20 is just enough for a fast food meal lately. And all you kids out here in California that work at fast food restaurants, it's only an extra hour of work for you guys. Okay, we're gonna do a quick unboxing and demo, but before that, let's go over all the features. And yes, I copy pasted from our website and I'll just read down the page. But if you're like me, I'd rather watch than read. Plus, we're gonna give you some nice visual aids so it really sinks in. All right, so this is a digital multimedia receiver with AM/FM tuner, a 6.8-inch capacitive touchscreen, 1024 by 600, which I believe is better than the previous model. Wired Android Auto and wired Apple CarPlay, along with a 2.1 amp rapid charge on the USB. Now this will mirror iPhone and Android Auto via USB. It does have built-in Bluetooth for hands-free calling and audio streaming, along with dual phone connection. You can have both your phones paired, and if one gets a phone call, it will override the other one. And the USB input doubles as a USB memory device, playing both audio and video. You have a 13-band equalizer along with digital time alignment. Now you are able to add a Sirius XM tuner, which is sold separately, steering wheel control ready, adapter sold separately, and of course you have a backup camera input. And then you have a 5-channel RCA output that is, again, 2.5 volts. And one last thing, you can add a wireless remote control, but that's sold separately. Okay, let's unbox. All right, quick unboxing here. Okay, so this is a double din, but it is a short chassis. Kind of weird, I haven't seen this design before. So you can actually take this portion off if you wanted to, and it would basically just kind of leave this L here. So not a whole lot of electronic components in there. All right, that's cool, makes the installation much easier. So that is a new design by Kenwood. All right, so you get GPS antenna, USB extension, Bluetooth mic, hardware, trim ring. You no longer get a cage. You used to get a cage, you don't get the cage anymore. Harness, instruction manual, and warranty card. And there's one yellow paper that's somebody manually cut in half. Let's read this. Okay, so you do get an external microphone included. The receiver is produced with an integrated microphone in the front of the screen. Ah, there is a mic there. Okay, so you do have a microphone, a built-in mic. That's new. So it looks like you have the option to either use the internal mic, and I guess if that's basically what it's saying is that doesn't work that well, you can use the external mic, but it's saying obviously don't put it near air vents and stuff like that where it will pick up noise. All right, let's fire this thing up. All right, so this is our home screen here. Let's go over the buttons here. On the left, you have your home button, menu button, voice activation button, and then your volume up and down, okay? These sources, you can choose which you want on the bottom, so you can change these to whichever is most popular for you. Hit the matrix here, and that will give you all the sources and options. All right, so you have radio, Sirius XM, Bluetooth, USB, standby, vehicle info. Again, that is for your Maestro RR. Satellite radio, tuner sold separately, media player, USB mirroring, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, telephones, and then we have Bluetooth streaming. You can add the radar detector if you want. It has to be a Kenwood or JVC radar detector. The gauges and the climate, again, is for the iData link. All right, and then you also have parking assist. Okay, we're gonna go into the settings here and go over these. All right, so you have your AV setting here. All right, AV output, so there's an output on here. I did not mention that earlier, so you can turn that on or off. All right, you have your voice guidance volume. I can tell that the chip is a little bit slow, but that's kind of typical with these entry-level radios. All right, on some of this, it's gonna be slow. We're gonna go into Apple CarPlay, and you're gonna see that it's a lot smoother. All right, so let's go to display here. Here you can customize the wallpaper. All right, choose whatever you like. You can also upload images as well via USB. Okay, let's skim through this. User interface, beep, language, format, zone. Okay, let's go into camera. Then you can turn the guidelines on or off, and then you can also set the guidelines as well. So you can take these points and move them around however you like. All right, special demo on or off. Turn the demo off. You have your product information, licensing software. Okay, looks like there's nothing there on the bottom. Let's go back. And then your connection, your device list here. So if you're hooking up your Bluetooth or your Apple CarPlay, you can select here, and the mirroring will also be on this as well. Okay, let's go to audio next. So we have speakers and crossovers. All right, here you can select the type of vehicle. So you have compact, sedan, wagon, minivan, SUV, passenger van. So here we're set to front. You can select the size speaker that you have here. So there are your options. You can also do the same for the rear, and then the subwoofer as well. Now, going back, here you can choose the speaker location as well. So upper door, lower door, or shelf area. That's for the rear. For the front, your options are upper door, lower door, on dash, or under dash. We also have tweeter. All right, so tweeter, you can select medium, small, or large, depending on the size tweeter that you have. Crossover next. All right, so we have front, rear, and subwoofer crossovers. So right now we're set on front, so we can select from 30 up to 250. Also slope, 12, 18, 24. So same front, rear, and sub are gonna be the same points. All right, then we have position. All right, you have some presets here. You can also adjust. So this does in feet, and then it translates into milliseconds. So basically what you do here is you measure the center of the speaker to the driver's side headrest, okay? For each speaker, and then you record it and set it. Then you have fader and balance. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Volume offset, each individual source you can choose to either higher or lower it depending on the volume of it. So let's say, for instance, you listen to the radio and then you go into USB and the USB is lower. You can go in here and turn this up. So then when you switch from radio to USB, it's even. Then we have sound effects. So you have our bass boost from 1 to 3, loudness from off to high, and then you can turn on and off the amplifier. Let me go back to this real quick. So if you have amplifiers, we don't suggest you use the bass boost or the loudness. That creates more distortion. If you're running off the power of the radio, which is kind of limited, if you use the bass boost and the loudness, you will get a little bit extra boost. All right, so that's my recommendation. Okay, so most people are familiar with CarPlay. So when you're in this mode, it's basically off the phone. So you're using the software that's embedded in the phone. All right, so let's check out mirroring really quick. So you will need to download this. All right, so it's giving me instructions here. So screen mirror there. And then basically you're gonna broadcast. So you start broadcast and then it's gonna give you, all right, so that's what's going on right there on my phone. All right, so let's see, you can definitely go to YouTube. Check out my guys at Donut. All right, so that looks really good. Now let's try Netflix. I don't think you're gonna be able to do this, but hey, let's give it a shot. All right, we're just gonna play anything. And, all right, so it's not showing on the screen. As you can see, it's showing on my phone, but it's not going to do it on the screen. So you are limited on what you can watch using mirroring. Okay, so that will conclude the demo. Okay, pros and cons. Starting with the pros. iData link compatible, Sirius XM ready, the audio processing, and only $20 more than the previous model. With inflation being what it is, not too bad. And the only con I have is it's a little slow on the processing. We're gonna give this a 4.25 star rating. If you're interested, we'll leave a link in the description below, taking you directly to the product page. Now remember, we do have financing available. Simply add to cart, pick a financing option, get approved, and we'll send your radio out to you ASAP. Okay, that's gonna do it. My name is Josh. I'm with Breaker Stereo and Performance. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.